Hi everyone, my name's Natalie and here is, again, it's a mix of things. So we popped into Asda to have a look at the toy sale as they have a big toy sale on at the moment. They also had lots of homeware in there too. I was going in for Sia's birthday. She is 7 at the end of the month and I can't believe it. Then we popped into B&M, then we went to Home Bargains and finished off at the Food Warehouse. They're all next to each other. I was going to go into the range too, but I ended up with 2 trolleys as it was. I had Neve with me, so she was helping me and she took one of the trolleys and then I had a trolley and yeah, we ended up spending too much money. So if you hadn't guessed already, this is the Asda toy sale. They had so much stuff, it was spread across 3 different sections in the store. They had some at the back of the store, then they had this whole aisle that was just dedicated to it, and then they also had the normal toy aisle, although it wasn't marked down there, they were the previous prices. There's a good mix of boys and girls things available. I was going to pick up the pony, the one that walks and has sounds. It was at the back of the store. However, I knew that we were going to have to carry it as we didn't have a trolley at this point. So I ended up picking up some of the Duplo, and then I also picked up some of these mini dolls in the bunk bed. I was tempted to pick up some of those magnet tiles, but to be honest, I got some on TikTok and they were a bit cheaper, so I might just get some more from there. Neve did also get a football. Every time we go into a shop and there's footballs there, somehow she manages to pick one up. This was a special one. I think it's like a Champions League one or something similar. So it was reduced down to £9, but she has like 12 footballs now. They also had all of these barbecues on sale as well. Next up, we went to B&M. I had gone in here again to look for presents for Sia. I didn't expect to come across these. If you're on TikTok and you have toddlers, you've probably seen them. But it's like a Klip Klop dupe, and they have a zoo one and that pony one. And when you put the animals on the slide, they sort of walk themselves and make the Klip Klop sound. I didn't really think before we went in there because they've been sold out everywhere, but I managed to get both sets, and then I also picked up a little mermaid set. Then those little like off-brand Chelsea dolls, it was £4 for one and £3 for the other, and Sia has just started to like role play, so she's only just started playing with the Barbie houses. So we're going to encourage that as much as we can, as it's a really big milestone for us. Then they had all of their summer stuff reduced. There's Neve with the football again. Look at that smile. But they had all of the outdoor stuff reduced. So they had climbing frames down to £50, swing sets down to £25. All of the pools were reduced. I was tempted to get some stuff and put it away for next year, but I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to not overspend money. So I ended up spending £43. So next up we went to Home Bargains. Again, I hadn't really planned to buy much. I just wanted to have a look at the toys, but I got a bit distracted because they had so much Halloween stuff in and even their Christmas items. So that is the Nutcracker for this year. I think they still have the more classic one that they had last year. A whole aisle of Grinchmas stuff. So many Grinch things in there. I am sure that they put their Christmas stuff out earlier and earlier each year. So this is the Halloween stuff on one side, which was out in August, and I thought that was a bit early, but now we're not even halfway through September and they already have all of the Christmas stuff directly opposite that, and there's actually more Christmas stuff out than there is of the Halloween stuff. Really like these pumpkins, they light up and I'm really tempted to get some. But again, I promised myself I'm not going to spend money. We didn't go on holiday this year, which is the first year, I think, in forever that we didn't go on holiday. But because James was born in the summer holidays, we just decided that we're going to save up for a bigger holiday. Sort of put the two amounts together and make next year really special. which I did feel a bit guilty about for the children, but they were happy anyway. We'd just moved house, just had a baby, so they were very understanding, and yeah, so that's what we're planning to do. So I'm trying to be good with our money. Plus, everything is just costing so much at the minute anyway. But yeah, I didn't pick up any of the stuff, which I was really proud of myself about. They did have all of this home stuff, and some of it was reduced. We ended up getting a mirror, of course, and you've seen a mirror, and it is purple, so it goes exactly with their room. So we did pick up that mirror for her at £9.99, and then we also ended up with a really impulse buy, which isn't too bad as it was reduced and the children will use it a lot. But it was a netball stand and the box is completely and utterly broken. But it's only £5 down from like 50, and it is going to be, they'll use it for basketball probably rather than netball. Next up, we went to the foodwarehouse. Now, I haven't been to Iceland or the foodwarehouse, which is the same thing. I think the foodwarehouse is just bigger than the Iceland stores. But I haven't been here for ages. I haven't even done an online order for over a month, which is very unusual as we get quite a lot of snacks from here. And when we're not going to farm foods, we also stock up the freezer. So we started off, of course, with the 8 for £10. They have the Goodfellows pizza in there, which is good compared to farm foods. Farm foods don't have the pizzas in there, but they do have every other Bird's Eye product. So I picked up 5 of those. I didn't know if there was a limit, as online there's a limit to 5 of the pizzas. So I just picked 5 up in case, and then a couple of sides to make up that offer. I was tempted to do it twice over, but to be honest, there's not really enough variety there for me to do that. Another one of the offers that I find to be really good at Iceland is their any free for £3, and then they also have an any 5 for £5. So basically, you're just getting the items for £1. They do tend to have them all over the store, which is why I prefer to do it online. There's a trolley, by the way, that's absolutely overflowing. But I prefer to do it online because it's a lot easier to see what's in the 5 for £5 and in the 3 for £3. As we went round, they were all in different places, and I maybe would have got a few more things of certain items if I had known that I could make it up in other places. But I will keep that in mind for future. Another thing that's great about it is they have all the snacky items in there. So they have like these pancakes, they have cakes in it, they have those jam tarts in it, but they also have essentials like bread and buns. So you can sort of mix and match for treats and for essential items if you want them too. I think I did the 3 for £3 twice over, maybe 3 times over by the time that we got to the end of the store. And the 5 for £5, again, I think I did that 3 times over. It does seem to be the same stuff that's in there. It doesn't really change as time goes on. But I also think that's good because if you've got things that you buy all the time, you know it's going to be on a special offer. So this is their half price. They had a whole freezer where everything was half price. So I picked up some normal waffles in case the children don't like the mini waffles. So this pasta is on a 4 for £5 offer. Not as cheap as farm foods, it's £1 a pack there, but it's Sia's favourite. So anytime I see it and it's that sort of price, I'm going to pick it up. And I think we still got 2 in the cupboard, but just to make sure it's there, if she's having an off day where she's not eating, I know I can give her that, and that will be it. She'll be happy with that. I did pick up some bananas and strawberries. Now, usually I don't pick up my fruit at Iceland. I just don't find it lasts very long. But I was very impressed with these strawberries. They were actually perfect and the children enjoyed them. They didn't last too long, of course, because it's only 2 small packets. But that was just to tide us over until we got our big shop. Lots of reductions there on their fruit and veg, but again, I didn't pick them up. These cakes haven't been in farm foods the last couple of times that I've been there, and they are the children's absolute favourite. So I started off the 5 for £5 with 5 of those. That seems like a lot, But again, it's only 2 each for the kids across the course of the week. And we also got some yogurts. Corbin is obsessed with those tubes at the moment, absolutely obsessed with them. And he keeps going through so many each day. I didn't pick up all of these, but I did lift that down to be able to get 3. And then we were going to get 2 more things. However, we did find some more 5 for £5 a little further on. And before I get told off for not buying proper food, I know some of these items are not very healthy, but this isn't our whole shop. This is purposely a snack shop, a freezer shop, and we do buy our fruit, veg and our meat at stores like Tesco and Morrison's, sometimes Aldi, and I've seen that next week there's going to be an offer on at Sainsbury's where they have their chocolate half price. They did do it last year and everyone went crazy for it. But I think I'm going to do a shop at Sainsbury's, as I'm sure that they've also sent me a £15 off code. Plus, we haven't done a shop there for ages. It's one of the farthest supermarkets away at the moment, but it's still not very far. Where we are now, we're lucky that we have like every single supermarket you can think of, including a Lidl. There's Neve and a wonderful packing skills into the trolley. She wanted some pepperonis. I said no. She ended up getting them in the end. After a bit of going back and forth, they are cheaper than most places, and we just got 1 pack this time. Then we ended up picking up some of the fridge raiders. They're off to college and school. The bigger ones keep going into town, and it costs quite a lot of money for all of them to go off and go and get a takeaway. So we are trying to encourage them to take packed lunches. So we ended up with some of those for that. And we got some cheese strings too. Again, that was another Neve purchase, but they do enjoy them in their packed lunch. They had those chili hot wave chicken strips there. I'm not sure I've seen those before. I think they maybe are new, or maybe I've just missed them online. But we do always get some of these 3 for £10 chicken strips. They are really quick and easy to make, and they're perfect for just throwing in a wrap, or they can go on their own. And if the younger children are having chicken nuggets, then the bigger kids prefer to have those ones. They do have so many to choose from. Lots of different flavours. There's pakora ones there, southern fried ones, and some of the children don't like the hot and spicy. So I did get some of the southern fried ones. I also noticed that at the next style of this, they have bigger bags, and I think they were like £5.90. But they would probably be a good idea for us because obviously we go through so much here. So they have big value packs of them. And that's another thing. I think I sort of get stuck when I do it online and I order the same stuff over and over again. Whereas when you're in store, you can obviously see what they have and buy different things. Next up, we were at the crisps. Neve was trying to get me to get the huge pack of Skips, but I know if I get the bigger 24 pack, they are just going to eat them all in one go. Plus, everyone likes different types of crisps. So I did pick up quite a few packs. We got some of the mini cheddars, the Transformers. Then we also picked up some Quavers. I did get them some Skips too. And then some Watsits. So I picked up 3 in the 3 for £5 and then just some of the separate ones too. That should last us for the week. And again, Neve wanted some, like a pack of party mix, a salt and vinegar one. So we picked up those for her as well. More frozen chicken. There is that extra spicy Pepper X one there. Didn't get any of that, but I know that the older boys would love it. And it's the same in Farm Foods and in Iceland. They just seem to have so many different types of chicken nuggets, so many different types of frozen chicken. It had started to get quieter now. I try to be careful not to record anyone else while we're in the store. So I took my opportunity to show you just how big this one is. Fish fingers, we go through so many fish fingers at the moment. It is one of Maeve's favourite foods. And to be honest, I use it quite a lot for the younger children, for their lunches. Again, look at the size of this store. By this point, our trolley was getting full, and at the end it only came to just over £100. And I was really impressed because I thought I'd gone way over that while we were shopping. When I do a shop online, sometimes it comes close to £300. And while I didn't stock up the freezer as such. I just got a few bits to go in there. It was definitely a lot less than I had expected to pick up. I didn't realise when I picked those up that it was a cheese sauce, which the children were not very happy about. They did like the cheese, but not the cheese sauce. They wanted their usual tomato sauce. And we are trying to make our own sides at the moment. Obviously, we did get some of the Alpha Bites and the waffles, but chips, the children just 100% prefer to have homemade chips, which I don't blame them. But I did pick up some of those fries. Again, when Mark comes in late from work, it's really easy to just throw them in, and they had the seasoning with them. Plus, they were on offer, so sometimes it is convenience over homemade. When we got to the puddings, of course, the kids have pudding after every meal that they have in the evening. It's something we've always done. They did have a lot on offer, but they were all out of stock. Or they hadn't been put in yet because there was someone there filling the freezers. So maybe they were just about to go in. But we ended up with a chocolate gâteau and then also a fudge cake as well. That will give everyone something to have because they like different things. Ice creams, again, I usually pick up quite a lot from Iceland as they're always on offer. But it was really good this time, and I only picked up some strawberry cones. I did get some noodles for Caleb. If he could eat noodles every single day for every meal, he would, but I don't let him. And it is one of his favourite things to have, so I always try and pick him some up now. At this point, I knew I was done. They did have this little sale section here. Again, in almost all of the stores, all of the summer stuff is on sale at the moment. I was considering getting that bubble machine for Sia, but I have ordered her a bubble wand from TikTok, so I decided not to get it. All of these items, they were also on offer. Although the Hellmann's barbecue sauce, it didn't say how much it was, so I didn't end up picking that up. And I had finished, but I knew that I needed to get some washing tablets, so I went along here to have a look. And to be honest, I didn't realise Iceland did so many non-food items. But they had lots of toiletries there, so we ended up picking a couple of things up from there. I didn't pick any chocolate up as we already had quite a lot at home. Some like buttons and bits and pieces that we had picked up from Poundland. But they did have half price offers on the washing powder too, so I managed to get some from there. I did think for just over £100, there's quite a lot here compared to what I would get in other stores, although quite a lot of it's convenience food and there's not a huge amount of meals there. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already.